welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the match preview segment for the next game in our resumed Premier League campaign on Thursday night. Everton versus Southampton back at Goodison, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, it's a quick turnaround, obviously, after that dismal result that we got in North London with Spurs and their new stadium, and it was a pretty grim display, whatever way you look at it. To look ahead to this game, I've got Paul alongside me. We'll get straight into the action, or lack of it if the previous match was anything to go by. Southampton have just put in the performance of their lives to beat Man City. Meanwhile, we've just lumped to one of the worst performances of our season and an underperforming Spurs. Going by that, there's no real cause for optimism on this segment tonight, is there, Paul?
Contrary to that, I can see us winning this game because it's what we tend to do. We tend to lose big games away from home that the fans are up for, and then we not long afterwards we tend to win games at home that don't mean anything. We've done it for years. I can remember when we lost to Wigan in the FA Cup,
and then beat City at home, even though we had nothing to play for.
Yeah, and then I think the season before that, we lost to the worst Liverpool team in history at Wembley, and then a few days later...
Beat Fulham 4-0 the week after.
Yeah, and put 4 past United at Old Trafford. I think that was the very next game. Yeah.
Well, I think the best example of it was we beat Brighton 1-0 a week after losing that derby to their kids this season.
Yeah, it makes no sense, but it's just what Everton have done for years upon years, and I can see it happening again here. I really can. I can see us going in, playing really relaxed, playing fluid football, and probably sucking some fans back into thinking that we're actually on the up again.
I don't know, it's just...
Yeah, papering over the cracks. It's what I can see us doing. I really can.
I'll be honest though, having witnessed the Spurs game, I'm not sure if it's going to wash anymore, because this is not the first time this season, like we mentioned that game against Liverpool's kids and all that. This is not the first time these players have put in these kind of turgid displays this season. And, you know, we've got one of the best managers in world football now, and, you know, it's definitely not the manager's fault. It's the players. And, I mean, if it shouldn't be any more obvious to us fans now that some of these players just aren't fit for purpose. And, I mean, we could say this till the cows come home, couldn't we, about slating the certain players in this team who are perennial letdowns, let's be honest.
Yeah, they give it all that. They come out after a game and say all the right things, and then the following game afterwards, they just absolutely bottle it, don't turn up, play well below their level. Coleman is the chief one for it. He was doing it again the other day. I want to see Everton in the conversation for Champions League. I'm sick of Everton
underperforming.
It's like, mate,
clip your teammates around. You're the captain. Clip your teammates around here when they put in a stinker like Gylfi Sigurdsson did yesterday or Andre Gomez did yesterday.
Exactly.
You've got to get in
show some leadership.
You're the leader. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I think we talk about. I was speaking earlier on, wasn't I, about Gary Neville and how much I was impressed with the things he said on Sky last night. But his brother did, whether you liked him or not, Phil Neville, I'm not sure whether you're a big Phil Neville fan or whether you were a detractor of his or...
Not as a player, but I do like him as a person.
As a leader, I thought he was a much better leader than anything we've got now. And I think that showed in the difference of the character of this team. There's no character in this team. And, you know, Seamus Coleman, he's been a good servant to Everton, a very loyal servant, done very well for a number of years. But he's not a captain. He's not an Everton captain. Nor was, dare to say it, Jagielka before him. Jagielka wasn't great, but he was still better than Coleman as a captain.
The last few years, our captains have just been the most popular boy in...
Yeah.
Spineless, most popular boy in class type thing. The person in class who everyone has a laugh with and thinks is really sound. So let's give him the captaincy because no one falls out with him. That's not the job of a captain. The captain's job is to fall out with people and to clip people around the ear and to get in people's face saying, you're crap, you need to be better, you did this wrong.
It boiled my blood watching Lloris rip into Son after he made that mistake at the end of the first half.
Because he's a captain.
Because
He's doing what a captain should do.
That's what I mean. He was doing what Coleman should be doing when players are getting in behind our defence. And he never does. I don't care. He's had a couple of good games as well, Coleman, since the lockdown ended. But he's not washing for me as a leader. He's not a captain. And I don't think we really have any captain material, certainly not in the more experienced players in the ranks.
I think Ancelotti will sign one when he can. It might not be this summer.
That could be a very crucial signing because that could be the difference, to be honest. Even when we might play awfully like that again, but we might not lose just because we have a leader who can, drag us back into the game.
Yeah, but Ancelotti, all his managerial career, has always had strong captains. He's had Maldini, he's had Nesta. Yeah, he's had Casillas for Real Madrid.
John Terry at Chelsea, whether you like him or not.
John Terry at Chelsea. Yeah, Ancelotti knows how crucial a captain is for a successful side. So I've got faith that in due course he'll sort that out. But going back to the Southampton game, as I said before, I can see us just turning up for this one and basically playing to our level because on paper, our squad is better than Southampton's. We're above them in the league.
Is it really?
Not by much, but I think it is because we're on our third manager of the season and we're still above them. Do you know what I mean? And they got spanked 9-0 earlier this season. I think their squad is not very good. It's just got 3 or 4 players in it who are having really good seasons. Now, our squad's probably got 3 or 4 good players in it, but I don't think any one of them's having an outstanding season.
No, not necessarily, but I do think their midfield, their whole team as a unit is far more cohesive than ours.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're better coached than we've been the past year or so, and they've got a game plan and a style of play that they're all established in. But if you look at their team, I think on paper, you'd take more of our players than their players if you had to mix them. But my point is, I think we'll go man for man with them in this game, and I think we'll beat them. I don't think we're going to spank them or anything. I think it will be tight. I could see a 1-0 or a 2-1.
It'll be a 1-0. We don't score many goals. And to be fair, we don't concede many, to be honest. We've only conceded twice since the restart. I think that's the saving grace of...
Yeah, and both of those goals were stupid as well. But yeah, I'm not saying this to put down Southampton. It's just I think Everton will just do what Everton typically do. We'll respond after a really poor performance in a crucial game with a good/really good performance in a game that ultimately isn't that important at home.
Has no relevance, really, no.
When the pressure's off, yeah, it's just what Everton do. We always win games that fans are not bothered about.
Well, I think somebody made a meme of that actually on Twitter earlier on, and it sort of nailed it. It was literally just like the dog meme, and it's just the dog with like 6-pack, like Everton when there's no pressure, and then it's like the other dog crying. It was like Everton when you could get into the European places.
Yeah, it's a mentality thing.
It is.
It's a mentality thing, like Gary Neville's pointing out. That we're not. It's not even just these group of players because it's been players in generations before this. It's a club thing. The club doesn't have the mentality of winners. We don't win when our backs are against the wall. We don't seize victory from the jaws of defeat. We don't get ourselves into the big time. We don't compete for anything. It's like we're just happy to be there. And as long as we don't get embarrassed, then the players will go off not really feeling too sorry for themselves. I hope he was right, Gary Neville, when he said, I hope these Everton players get on the coach and feel really, really embarrassed and really terrible. But I don't think they will have done. No, I think they'll have just shrugged the shoulders and gone, oh, well, it's another game on Thursday. There's always next time. There's always Thursday when we play Southampton. And that'll be what happens, in my opinion, at least, what I was saying. They'll come out for Southampton as if that loss didn't happen against Tottenham and just play normally and easily without pressure and probably get a good result. And
that's the difference. I think if we had a proper captain, we wouldn't be tolerating these kind of displays. Certainly not there in the moment on the pitch. I think the captain would definitely have something to say if we had a proper leader.
Great captains don't let standards drop. You can have a great captain and your team still isn't very good because the quality of the team's just not up to the level.
Bear in mind, we had Dave Watson as captain and stayed up against Coventry and Wimbledon.
That team was awful. But
and that team was well worse than this on paper. You know, we had Carl Tyler and Klaus Thompson and God knows what in that team, but
yeah,
you know, we still managed to show more fight than this team does.
Yeah, and even back in the Moyes years, I know a lot of people don't like him, but even Alan Stubbs in that 04-05 season, do you know what I mean? There was a lot of times in that season where we just stayed in games and nicked them and showed a lot of spirit.
Even though we
haven't showed that for years. Yeah, I can't remember the last time Everton. There's been like little one-off games here and there, like Norwich the other week, but I can't think of a time when we went through this prolonged period of just being this really gritty team that digs in and is hard to beat and nicks results. We just don't ever seem to do it.
You're probably talking towards the end of the Moyes years for the last time we had spells like that, because we played well under Martinez, but we were always a bit brittle, and ever since Martinez, it's been a complete mess, really.
We were always a front foot team under Martinez. We would always play really well and win well, and concede. Yeah, whenever we won, it wasn't because we battled for it. It was just because we were able to sweep aside a really crap defence that was worse than us.
That was it.
And I know in managers since then, we've not really built anything, have we? It's just been.
No.
It feels like every game we've just been winging it under 3 managers.
Just
go out there on the day and hopefully something clicks.
But I think even under Ancelotti now, who's one of the best managers there is, I think we've still got to wing it because these players are that awful.
Yeah, and he's tried his best to instill some old-fashioned Italian steel, hasn't he? But it's the certain players who are just lost causes.
There's no such thing as steel in some of these players, and
no.
I think there's far too many of them. They need weeding out, and hopefully it'll only be another year or two before these names that we're naming are on the way. I think contracts are starting to run out. Thankfully, we've seen a couple of wasters leave last week. Players are starting to be moved on, which is a really good sign. Now it's about making sure we bring in the right players to replace those, and they don't always have to be expensive buys.
No, just the right characters. Players who want to come in and fight. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean fight as in like have scraps. I mean fight as in come in and prove themselves, show the worth, achieve something. There's a really good quote I like. I don't want people who want to jump on the train when it's moving. I want people who want to who want to push the train and get it moving in the first place.
And that's exactly what we need. We're a train that's not moving at the moment. We need to get it moving. It's a very good analogy.
Yeah. So I can see us winning this game really tightly, a 1-0 or a 2-1, and hopefully fans don't fall for it and get suckered back in thinking, oh well,
with a gear now we're going to win the league next season.
Yeah. I don't. Tom Davis or Andre Gomez or Bernard played really well today. Maybe we can stick with them and use them next season. Oh no, do you know what I mean? We've seen what they're like when the going gets tough. Sigurdsson, if he plays, God forbid he doesn't, but if he does and he scores a winner, I really hope fans don't just forget what happened the other week and start making out like he's great again.
I think people were starting to do that, weren't they, after Leicester, and like they were
little bit.
He's been playing pretty well until the Spurs game, and people were going, is Gylfi back? Like, is he back to like the Gylfi we had like last season?
Yeah, or have we just found a use for him? We can bring him off the bench just to slow the pace down in games to something that suits us. But no, he's useless. He's useless.
He's a waster.
And there's other players who are wasters as well. And regardless of what happens between now and the end of the season, they shouldn't have a future here. Regardless of how well they might play or how many points they might help us pick up. We've seen what happens or what they offer when we're up against the wall and we need to win a game. That is really important to the season. There's no point turning it on when no one cares.
And that's literally Everton in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'll for this Southampton game, I'll go for a 2-1.
Yeah, I was just going to get on to our predictions, and it is going to be one of them games.
All right, we'll go on.
It's going to be one of them no one cares about, isn't it? Like, it's the kind of game Everton normally win home. I think you nailed it when you said that. So you've gone for the 2-1, have you?
Yeah, I'll go for the 2-1. I fancy Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score. He hasn't scored for a little while. And maybe Luca Dean.
Okay, not bad.
Maybe a Luca Dean set piece, because we're due a Luca Dean goal, aren't we? So, yeah, I'll go for a very tight 2-1, and afterwards the players come out and give it all the same old talk about, oh, we want to battle.
We're gonna get in the top 4 next season and all.
Yeah, we want to battle. We know we let you down. We want to prove people wrong. Shut up. Do you know what I mean? Just get the points.
I've had enough of them stupid sound bites now, I think.
Yeah, so 2-1 for me.
Yeah, I'm not going to be that optimistic. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I think you might be right on the Calvert-Lewin front. I think he might get a goal, but I don't think we've got enough in us to get a win. To be honest, I think it's just when you look at the way Southampton played against City, if they play half as good as that, we've got no chance.
Yeah. If they play half as good as he did against City, then we'll get tonked, I think.
Yeah.
But, you know, hopefully those type of performances are once a season.
Well, we've got to hope that, because there's not, like you say, there's not enough character in this team to turn it around if they do get up and running like they did against City.
Yeah. Oh, if they take the lead, then I don't think we'll get anything.
If they take the lead, I'm switching the stream off. Well, that's it. That's Everton for you, I think. You might as well. I think that sums Everton up, to be honest with you. I think it's just, if Everton go behind, you might as well turn the game off, or you might as well leave the ground if you're in the ground, because there's no fight in them. They're not going to fight back.
Mental midgets.
Yeah. Best way of putting it. But I wonder if these mental midgets can get a unlikely win on Thursday.
I think so, but it won't really, as I said, it won't really matter even if they do.
It won't matter, and to be honest, I'm not bothered in the slightest now. Like I say, the season's effectively over. The only thing that might drag me back in is if the kids get a go and if they start to, show something a bit different, and hopefully they do, because until then, I can't be bothered watching another Gylfi Sigurdsson and Andre Gomez midfield. So, yeah. Just depressing, isn't it? It's just, it's terrible, but it's Everton. That literally sums everything up, to be honest. I think that's just the best way of putting it. And we'll finish on that bombshell, because I can't be asked talking about Everton anymore, to be quite fully honest.
It's been our goal in this, hasn't it? It's why we've been repeating ourselves. It's so hard to even give a toss about Everton, isn't it?
Why should you even expend the energy when Gylfi Sigurdsson can't be bothered expending his energy on putting a tackle in?
Yeah, we put more effort into these videos than Gylfi Sigurdsson has since he got here 3 years ago, whenever it was, and he's on $100,000 a week. So
yeah, there you go, guys. There's my match reaction to Everton 0 Southampton 3, and we'll just we'll get that ready for next. I might as well start pre-recording that if we concede the first goal. So there you go, guys. That's the end of the very depressing match preview. Let us know what you think, how you think it's going to pan out, and if you've got a bit more optimism in you than Paul and I have got. Let us know, drop us a comment, give this vid a like and a subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. And until next time, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you later.